Before that though, a rare chance to see the secret study of a famous 18th century poet. And when I say study, I actually mean an underground grotto which connected his villa to his riverside garden. Holly Goodall went to visit his subterranean lair in Twickenham, where Alexander Pope wrote many of his famous works.
Thou who shalt stop where Thames' translucent wave shines a broad mirror through the shadowy cave, where lingering drops from mineral roofs distill and pointed crystals break the sparkling rill.
Those are words from one of the greatest English poets of the Age of Enlightenment, Alexander Pope, inspired by and written in this dark cave in Twickenham. He built it to connect his garden to his villa on the banks of the Thames, and today it's all that's left.
Pope started work on this grotto just under 300 years ago and continued to work on it for 24 years. At its best, it would have been something of an Aladdin's cave, with stalactites, fossils and crystals like this one encrusted into the walls.
It seems quite dark and dingy and gloomy now. It's got dirty over time, but he really loved to bring light into it. So he had mirrors, sparkling stones. He would have involved you in the sort of the story and the mythology of it. So if he brought you down here, he would tell you what it meant to him as a space of creativity and imagination.
During his life, Pope's grotto would have drawn visitors from miles around, while the designs of his villa and gardens were copied across England.
Well, there you are, that piece of resin there.
But for centuries after his death, the grotto fell into disrepair. Work began to restore it in 2015, but the Preservation Trust still has a way to go in securing funding for its future.
It will be cleaned, it'll be stabilised, bits will be stuck back, we will replace some of the material that's missing, and we have a collection of rocks that we can put up there. But that is yet to happen, we have yet to get the money for that.
Pope had a willow tree.
Today, the grotto is largely closed to the public, but to celebrate the 300th anniversary of Pope's arrival in Twickenham, the Trust is hosting a series of open days. These pupils, whose school sits above the grotto, are on their first visit.
It kind of shows his childishness by how he wanted a sort of man cave down here.
I think it's quite brilliant that someone could have something like this down here.
The grotto will be open to the public on weekends throughout the spring. It's hoped with more work it can once again be a source of curiosity and inspiration. Holly Goodall, BBC London News.